Hello, this is Jack Austin from Jack Austin Consultants and Quantum Breakthroughs. And I'm coming to you now with a video which I'm going to entitle The Most Poisonous Idea in Business. And the reason that I consider this particular idea to be so poisonous is because it acts kind of like a mind virus. The challenge that happens oftentimes inside a business is that the consciousness of the leaders are influenced by ideas, or the consciousness of the staff members, the employees, the crew, the stakeholders, are influenced by ideas which run rampant, are very common in our society, but are not specifically true. In fact, they may be absolutely the opposite of the truth, and yet taken as common knowledge and common wisdom. So that's pretty general. What is it that I mean specifically? Well, when it comes to this particular mind virus, it's the idea that you can't get good help anymore. It's been expressed that way. Sometimes it's expressed, it's really hard to find good people. It's difficult to get good help. And what this idea seems to suppose, right, to assume, is that human beings, of high quality, high standards, of talent and capacity, are uncommon, irregular. The majority of people, therefore, would be average or below average, or in some way harmful to a business or to performance. And what I've found to be true is quite the opposite. It's not that highly talented people or really skillful people or really engaged people are that common, but what I have discovered is that leadership that extracts the natural capacities that most people have is uncommon, because it's not understood what's expected of a leader to be able to bring out the best in people. And there's a ton of assumptions that people hold in business and elsewhere in life where they believe that it's expected that people should automatically know or deliver a particular quality of performance in a business without having specifically, consciously, and absolutely clearly, with criteria and descriptions that are shared throughout a business, exactly what the highest performance is. It's also often assumed that people should just do that on their own because they're getting paid, rather than being educated and trained as to what is specifically expected. What is the standard? What is it that makes the best performance? So instead of having a high performance organization, there's all these ideas about how hard that is to create. And it isn't that it happens on its own. It's just that very seldom does the leadership have the proactive viewpoint of getting things the way they want it, and believing in the human beings who actually will carry those ideas forward and make them real and live them in the business. Of course, the leadership sometimes isn't leading that in the business either, and of course that, don't want to cast any aspersions, but I mean, the speed of the leader is the speed of the organization. And So we have to look in the mirror as human beings, because that's where, our reflection is, just as the world is a reflection of who we are as well. We may have very powerful and high standards, but if we're not able to communicate well, intimately, powerfully with others in ways that allow them to bring forward their best, we're not going to get those results. So it's not, from my experience of 30 years of business, that good help is hard to find or impossible. It's that leaders who understand how to get the best performance out of their people are hard to find. They have to be created. Very, very few people intuitively get this kind of information, because there's so many contradictory things that we teach and educate people in our culture. And one of them is not, in most areas, how to be a really great leader, which is why it's so uncommon. It's not that uncommon to find well-educated and trained businesses where people excel at being who they truly were capable of being all along. So this mind virus, this poisonous idea, it's something that needs to be eradicated in a business by a leader. And the way that that's done is not by just forbidding it. It's by re-educating people as to what is common amongst people and what their value is and how they can perform things that they may never have believed in the past. And yes, you may want people who have more of that self-starter from the beginning. But sometimes you have to take the folks who come to you with the talents and abilities that they have, as long as they don't have a ton of bad habits, and help them become their best. And that's what a lot of entry positions are about. And when we do that as leaders, when we show people what it is that we are looking to achieve and what it is that the vision for the business is and what it is that's possible to be done and what their true capacities are that they may never have fully understood before, we can have a stellar business. We can eradicate mind viruses like this. We can stop projecting on others and judging them and ourselves, and have a conscious, exceptional, quality business that serves our customers and our patrons and our colleagues, the stakeholders at large, the world as a whole, in a much better, much more powerful way. Thanks again for listening. This is Jack Austin from jackaustin.com, Jack Austin Consultants, and Quantum Breakthroughs. Thank you.